Good day, everyone, and thanks very much for joining us for this web chat on the article about is your co-op a co-op or a utility? So the thought behind this month's column was over time I've seen co-ops morph to a way in which they're treating their members more as customers than as member owners of the co-op. And I think what happens when we do that, we really lose one of the key cooperative advantages that we have, that the members own us and that they feel that sense of ownership. And I understand why this has happened over time. When the co-op started 75 years ago, it was imperative that every one of the members felt that they were an owner of the cooperative. We had to go door to door, farm, ranch to ranch, collect the $5, and so everyone knew that they were a member of the cooperative. Today, that's not the case, obviously. Electricity is taken for granted. When people move into the service territory for the first time, they just want to get hooked up with their electricity, and it's likely that they're getting cable connected and their other utilities at the same time. And they don't really have a whole lot of time to learn about the fact that they're a cooperative. But that in no way lessens the imperative that we as cooperatives have to our member owners to ensure that they understand the value of being an owner of the cooperative. And I also understand from the standpoint of the cooperative executives and even the board at times that sometimes democracy can be a little bit messy, and having members participate as owners might not be the most efficient thing. But over the long haul, it really will serve the best interests of the cooperative. Because as we enter a more competitive time in our history, the electric utility industry is undergoing a change such as the likes that we have never seen before. And we want to make sure that those members, when they have a choice in who is providing them their utility services, we want to make sure that they choose the cooperative. And that with Solar City or any other company comes knocking and saying, hey, buy electricity from us, that those member owners say, no thanks, I already own my electric utility, so that they have that sense of connection. Now, this is not something that's easy to do. It's going to take a long-term commitment. There are some co-ops that are doing a very good job at it. We'll talk about a couple of examples of those in a moment. But the key thing that we want to get across is that it really will be in the co-op's best interest over the long haul to continue to showcase the fact that the members are the owners. I know we did have a couple of questions come in just before as we were getting started. So I want to go to those right now and respond to that. So what are some of the pitfalls with members considering the co-op to be just a utility? Well, I think one of the key things that I feel for some co-ops is one of two things. One, they'll be irrelevant, which of course is never a good thing for any business or really anybody. And secondly, at some point, the members may realize, hey, I really do own this, and you haven't been treating me as an owner, and you know what? Go and take back my co-op. And we do have examples of where that has happened, where the co-op has gone off the rails and not lived up to the principles and values that so many of us hold dear. And when you do that, you invite that kind of reluctance or combativeness among the members, in which they come back and do it in a very unpleasant way. So we certainly want to avoid either becoming irrelevant or becoming combative with the members. And I think, as I spoke about last month in the column and in the web chat about transparency, that's closely connected to this issue. The fact that we want to continue to showcase that we are owned by the members and that we value their opinions and their insights. Okay, we had another question. You mentioned in the column in the beginning, maintaining the relationship with members came naturally since it was so integral to the co-op's success. Do you see offering broadband to members as a way to rekindle that connection? Absolutely. In fact, in the same issue of the magazine, in this November issue, there's a column by the NRECA board president, Mel Coleman, that talks about broadband. And in many ways, the moral imperative for co-ops to consider offering that service if it is not available in their community. one of the questions I ask of board members when I do my board training is, it's kind of a silly question, admittedly, but I ask, would you live in your community without electricity? And of course, everyone says no, they wouldn't. And then the follow-up question I ask is, would you live in your community without broadband? And on average, about a third to a half people raise their hands and say yes. Now, as we know, our board members skew into the older age demographic, and many of them just haven't gotten used to the necessity of having broadband, certainly in our business lives and for many in our personal and entertainment lives as well. And what I tell folks is that if everyone in this room was under 40, and I asked that same question, would you live in your community without broadband? Likely, no hands would go up. It is simply the way I refer to it now, and it's the next electricity. It is, and for rural areas, if we hope to be able to attract businesses and keep our communities thriving, broadband is absolutely going to be a critical component. And what I've seen for those co-ops that are entering into offering broadband to their homes, in fact, I was just visiting a couple of weeks ago with Midwest in Michigan, in Cassopolis, Michigan, in the southwest corner. And they're in the midst of a very ambitious fiber to the home project. And you can tell the energy that the employees have because they feel that they are making a difference in that community. And I would imagine that's probably what it felt 75 years ago if you were one of the employees who are offering the idea of electricity. So I think it's critically important that we look for the next thing that our members want, and in this case, it's broadband. And if your electric co-op is not capable of doing it at this point, then certainly you want to partner with others in your community who may be able to offer it as well. So yeah, I think that's a critical component. Okay. Another question. What are some of the interesting examples you've come across with co-ops that engage with their members? Well, yesterday I was actually in Madison, Wisconsin, where I teach at the MIP program, which is the Management Internship Program. And what's kind of interesting there is what we do is we do a tour of other area co-ops. So we went to the Willie Street Food Co-op, which is a well-known institution in Madison. It's a consumer-owned food co-op. And one of the things that they've done with their annual meeting as a way of further engaging with their members is that they changed the name of their annual meeting. They did this probably about 15 years ago to what it is now. It's annual meeting and party. And they have greatly increased the number of people who come to the meeting, who participate in the meeting, and just by adding those two words, and party. Now, for some electric co-ops, that might be a little bit of a stretch, and I understand that. I think what we can do is called community engagement. Anything that showcases that we want to make it interactive and bring folks in. Some other co-ops are using member advisory committees, or MACs, as some being called. And what they're doing is going beyond just the ring of the board to the next ring, and saying, what are the members? What are they interested in? And they might host. I joke that we have 7 co-op principals. If we had an 8th co-op principal, it would be that we meet and eat. So that is, certainly part of the culture, and I get that. But the idea of bringing people in and having a discussion, asking questions, or what are your biggest aspirations for our community, or what keeps you up at night? Meeting people where they are, seeing what their concerns are, letting them know that their electric co-op wants to be part of the solutions. Because one of the things I can predict with great accuracy, and there's not many things that we can predict with great accuracy, but I can absolutely predict that there is no electric co-op that's going to be moving to Mexico or China or Canada. You are locally rooted in your community. That is absolutely crucial to your success. If the local community does not thrive, then the co-op will not thrive. And if we can engage our members in such a way that they feel the sense of connection to our co-op, that they feel that we're both in the rowboat, rowing in the same direction, I think we will have great success long into the future. One of the things I sometimes battle with some folks is that they think, oh, this co-op business model is old and dated, and nothing could be further from the truth. Even though in its modern form, it's been around since 1844, because it has to be responsive to the members in order for it to continue over the long haul. It is constantly updated. The co-ops that see the most success are true learning organizations, challenging themselves to what they can do better, quicker, faster, with greater efficiency and at the best cost for the members. So I'm extremely optimistic about our co-op business model, what it holds for the future, what it can do to attract young people. In many studies about millennials, clearly the value that co-ops have ring very true with the next generation of folks that are fully entering the workforce now. And I think we can use it as a recruitment tool as well to attract young, very qualified people to work at our co-ops. Okay, I think that covers the questions that we have received so far. So with that, I'd like to thank all the folks who took some time out today to join this web chat. We look forward to being with you again next month. And Scott, I'll turn it back over to you if you have some closing comments you need to put in the text box. So thanks very much. Oh, looks like one more question came in. All right, let's see. Let's scroll down. My apologies. What is the most creative example of member engagement that you've seen? There's a credit union in Indiana that what they were trying to do is to get more people come to their annual meeting. And so what they did, they had a charity fund. It was about $10,000 that they were going to give to the charity that got the most vote at their annual meeting. So they invited a number of local charities and said, if you can, there's more members you can bring to the annual meeting as possible, and then they vote for your charity, then we will give them the $10,000 donation. So it's just a simple example of that, of allowing the members to have a very active and real voice in what they're doing. I think that was kind of a fun, creative way of building that engagement. And one of the things that it did is it wasn't the co-op that was doing it; it was the local charities that were trying to get their members out. And of course, while they're at the annual meeting, the credit union was sharing with them all the wonderful things that they're doing in the community and asking other people to do the same. I think one of the core things that we need to do, certainly in member engagement, is obviously keep the eye on the ball and provide the best possible service of the core good or service that we're providing. So if it's an electric utility, obviously maintaining safe, reliable, affordable, and sustainable power is key. But then taking it that next step. So we've got to get the base right down in the beginning, and then move on from there. So okay. So folks, all right. Thanks very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you.